All right, guys. So, I'm gonna start recording my poker sessions, like the YouTube channel says. I've been on a little bit of a downswing lately, so I'm hoping that by recording these sessions, it'll just help me to analyze my play a little bit closer. Unfortunately, I got home late. I missed some of the rebuys that were going on WSOP and J. So it's a little bit later. So I'm playing the 750 guaranteed Midnight Mayhem. Not my favorite structure in the world, but at least I get my fix for the night. So again, I'm hoping to make a thing out of this. I'm hoping that I can at least upload, at least once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on my schedule. Like I said, I pretty much do this part time. So it really just depends on my schedule with work and with my son and everything. So we'll see what we're able to do, but I welcome any comments. I'm sure I'll get some good ones, some bad ones, some disparaging ones, but I welcome everything. I love the banter, so bring it on. So we're in the pretty early stages here. 5-6 suited. I'm not against playing that hand on the big blind, so I'll see a flop with that. Not the worst flop in the world, but I'm guessing he's going to c-bet into that, so we'll see how much he puts into it. I'm guessing about 100 and something. Or the full pot. So, again, with this structure, since there's no rebuys, I'm not really going to go chasing on that. It's a lower starting stack too. I think you only start with 2,000. So. Ace 5 on the small blind suited. I'm at least going to bump it up to 100 here and see if I can knock him out of this pot. If he calls, it's not the end of the world either. It's not a bad flop. So we're going to c-bet half the pot. Wait a minute, we don't want to seem too eager. We might take our foot off the pedal a little bit here, but let's see how he plays it here. $390. I don't really get that bet, but it is what it is. Again, just based on the structure here, I'm basically playing to a flush, unless that ace falls. So we'll just let it go and live to fight another day. My style, especially early on in most tournaments, is I do like to be a little bit more aggressive and then kind of pace myself as the tourney progresses further and I get deeper. I'm just the type of player where I like to accumulate chips early on. This structure doesn't allow for it as much because you're taking a chance. If you're trying to steal blinds and make moves this early on, it's really going to put you in a bad way. Again, it's not like it's a rebuy, where if you do make a mistake, you can just buy back in. So you have to kind of be a little more patient, more than I usually like in the beginning stages, and really pick your spots. Yeah, as you can see, I'm already a few hundred down. Just within those first couple of hands, where I probably had the better hand to start, but it just didn't work out my way based on the flop and everything. So yeah, like that I don't understand. Bonds 0106 is going to call off most of his stack pre-flop, but leave 480. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Ace Queen is a fantastic hand, even going up against Pocket Queens, especially when you're the shorter stack there. I would have probably just pushed, and it would have been no harm, no foul losing the queens. But I just don't get the straight up call. This queen is good. 6-8 offsuit under the gun. Not really something that we can work with there, so just gonna let it go. For 10, we're just gonna release this one. Yeah, again, if I had a few more chips, I might just see a flop just because of and obviously I've played with quite a few of these people before. Basile 28, yeah, is on the tables quite a bit. Quadman is also on the tables quite a bit. So, you kind of get to know certain players' playing styles and everything. Steele has the time bank going right now. Maybe he's got a piece of it. He might just be posturing. That's a big decision. I mean, even if he caught a piece, yeah, it's a tough call just because it's going to leave him very short stacked if he makes the wrong call. So it's almost a a fold or push situation for him. But no one wants to get knocked out this early. Hope I don't. Jersey Devils got the chips to make a bit of a move, but I'm not going to take a chance with the Queen 7 suited. Right now we are absolutely card dead, which is phenomenal. Alright, so we pick up King Queen on the big blind. Let's see what the rest of the table does. We got a caller. TBO 9587. Still don't understand the purpose of calling. And we got a raise by the Dennis. I'm going to call the Dennis. I'm sure TBO will be close behind. Not necessarily the flop that we wanted. We're gonna gracefully bow to that hand. And the 4-9 suited holds up. Streak continues. Fantastic hands. So we're not quite in like desperation territory yet, but obviously if the hands don't get any better anytime soon, we're gonna have to start trying to make our own luck. So see what happens. Ouch. Alright, so we have Queen Jack suited on the button. We have one limper. So we're going to push up the bet a little bit. Maybe see if we can't isolate and push a couple people out of this pot, but it looks like we're going to have 3. Not a great flop, but we'll c-bet it anyways, unless, yeah. So let's do 300, which again I'm not a huge fan of, but it worked out this time, so we'll take it. I mean, it's a perfect example of, you know, the pain in the ass that it is to start with such a small starting stack, and you know, not having that backup of, you know, the possibility of rebuying. But I mean, that's the structure, and it makes sense. I mean, at this time of night too. Yeah. Oof. Oof. Insult to injury. That was rough. Oof. Quad man having a bad run of things there. I feel bad for him. Those are the kind of beats I've been taking the last couple weeks. But such is life in the online poker universe. Still haven't really been able to string together a consistent run of decent hands where we can even make any like potential moves or anything. So it's just been a tough go, but we'll continue to be patient. Gotta love that 3-7. Ace-9 is kind of a marginal hand, but yeah, we wake up with it on the big blinds, and we got a min raise until now, so we will release this and see how re-raise Rob handles this. Push. Call with Ace-5. And the 7s hold. Wow. Chico Maria, what are you doing? Alright, so we got Ace-King suited. We got a raise by Basile. Yeah, and this might be the time for our stand here. So I'm going to go ahead and just push. And make Basile make a decision for a good portion of his chips. If TBO doesn't make that decision first. But either way, I mean, we're pushing with probably the better hand here. You know, definitely the best hand we've seen in several rounds here. Alright, TBO's been disconnected, so the time bank's been activated. So it's really not like he's tanking. And they both fold, so we're happy with that. You know, we don't necessarily want to be racing yet, but you know, I also don't mind a caller on that hand either. You know, Ace King's a monster, especially suited. So yeah, I'm not laying it down no matter what at this point with the amount of chips that I have. So we got another. The Dennis here is going to limp in instead of raising. So, I mean, it just gives us an opportunity to see a flop here, and we like that flop. So, hopefully we can get the Dennis to bet into us here, which he does. Pop it up to 400. You know, just because of the hearts there. of 600 here. He's going to call. And we like that. I mean, unless he's got quad fives, then we're kind of sitting pretty here. Quad fives, or for some reason he had pocket aces, then we're screwed. But, you know, we'll take that flop with the tens. We can't really get away from this hand. My guess is he was playing for the flush. So he's going to tank here. But really, my guess... No, just ace nine. I don't get it, but I'll take it. Thanks, dude. Oof. Alright, so we're on a break here. I'm just going to pause this for the time being, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're back. We were just able to double up before the break, which is great. 4-8's not going to do it for us, so we'll release that. So right now, there's 44 people left. It's only going to pay out 6 spots, so even if you make the final table, it's one of those ones where you're still going to have to navigate through a few people. We're sitting in 5th place right now, which is a good spot to be. With, like I said, 44 people left. So, you know, we're just going to keep plugging. Pick our spots. We have a few more chips to work with now. So as long as we don't get greedy, you know, hopefully we'll be okay. Ace King holds against Ace 4. 6-9's a monster. The Dennis. You're in danger. I've played against him in some rebuys. Obviously everyone's a little bit looser during the rebuys. Seems like he's been playing this one a little bit tight, but typically he's a fairly loose player, so I'm not typically too scared off by any of his bets, especially a min raise. But I mean, in this case, obviously with Tarzan pushing, we're just going to release that. Jack 7's no good there. So you're in danger's got the 9s. He hits the set. Ace Jack's not going to do it. So he actually woke up with a hand there. So like I say, he's been playing fairly tight. And maybe the last couple times I played him, maybe he was just tilted, but he seems to be playing a little bit tighter now. We'll see if he opens it up a bit now that he's got some chips. But now you're running into that almost that push or fold time of the tournament, especially with this type of a structure where you're going to get a lot of people that are trying to double up before they get blinded out. So we're really going to have to pick our spots as far as when we want to raise and when we want to try and steal or make moves. So we'll have to keep an eye on the short stacks because they're more likely to push and try and make something out of nothing. So the 8 hits there. It's a tough beat. So we got Queen 10. We got a caller. That just limps in. I'm not a huge fan of staying in this pot without isolating, so I'm going to pop it up to 300. And maybe see if I can knock some of these other guys out of here. You're in danger, will probably call. See what I Hate Laundry does here. He might push, in which case I'm not sure I really want to risk that many chips with Queen 10, but instead he just calls. So if he checks, we're going to run a C bet here. Maybe just like 300. Just to see if we can knock off this pot, but we do, so we'll take it. So now we wake up with queens, in which case if we get a raiser ahead of us, we're gonna re-raise for sure. So we're going to pop it up to 300. Again, we like to keep our bets somewhat consistent no matter whether we're holding a hand or whether we're stealing. And this is a decent position to make one of these guys think that we're potentially stealing also. Chop it up. I don't know why they just called there. But it's not a great flop, but it's not terrible. So we're going to bet half the pot here and see what chop it up does. Not a big fan of the ace there either. I'm gonna go to 650. I mean, if he pushes, I'm hoping he wasn't holding on to an ace just for shits and giggles. But I mean, at this point, we've got 650 invested. I almost have to, put him in. So I'm not going to get away from the hand. He obviously was willing to risk all his. He must have been chasing either a straight or a flush. So, yeah, missed all draws, chased all draws instead of just pushing. But now we have aces. So now we're going to pop this up because we've got a pre-flop limper. We're going to pop this up to, let's do 450. Chop it up will probably push here. No, he's more than content just handing on to his last 600. The seal folds, this is what we want. We isolated. Shipping pots is going to call. It's a rainbow, we like that. Hopefully he didn't hit a set of anything, but we're going to bet out half. Well, let's pop it up to 550. I'll take that as well. Yeah. Would have been happier if he had like ace king, something like that, but 10-6 we're going to get away from. So right now we're sitting in third place with 37 people left. So again, we're moving in the right direction. So now we're at the point where we don't want to take our foot off the pedal. We want to keep the pressure on, but we want to pressure the right people. 7-3 in early position is not really something that we want to mess with. So chop it up is going to push with his last 800, and Basile is going to push. Wow, that's a bad flop but it holds. So chop it up is done. Basile holds, luckily. We're going to drop 10 deuce under the gun. See what the dentist does here. The dentist is just going to call. Flat call from the small blind. Shipping pots is going to check it down. So Basile's going to pop it up 2.5 times the big blind. If Shipping Pots had called there, I most definitely would have called to see a flop. Jack 2 suited isn't really something that I really want to get involved in right now. Unless those hearts fall, you're really messing with... you're just asking for trouble. If that jack falls, then you don't want to be dealing with a higher kicker situation. Dennis pops it up to 400. So we're going to release our jack 8 here. We're going to take a little stab at this one. Just the 3x raise. just to see what happens. You're in danger folds. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. We don't do it all the time, so it's not like we're abusing that privilege. Drop the king 9. So you're in danger, does the min raise. And you get them both to fold. Sitting in 4th place, 29 people left. Alright, so sorry about that. Move it up to 360. Not fond of this position, but we're missing a player at the table anyways, so it's kind of technically middle position. If we get a re-raise, then depending on how much it is, yeah, we can get away from it pretty easily. And he's gonna call down and leave himself with 424. I mean, there's really no reason for me to not just put him in and see what we catch. So far we're ahead. And we hold, so we'll take it. Again, I don't comprehend why he wouldn't just push there, you know? It doesn't make any sense to me, but, you know, it is what it is, and I'm more than happy to take their chips. So that puts us in 2nd place right now with 27 people left. So, I mean, you can't ask for much better than that at this point in the tournament. So, we just don't really want to do anything stupid to relinquish that. So, we'll just try and be smart about it. So, we got a raise to 300 by Bastille. He's a good player. Bird gained 6, just called, flat call. The Dennis is trying to decide how they want to play this, and they'll fold. Another fold. So I got 780 in the pot. I mean, I got Jack 7 suited. Let's see. I'll see a flop on this one. Not a great flop, but Basile will definitely c-bet here, I'm thinking. I'm drawing to a gut shot, and I have two overs. We hit the 7, but that leaves the 5 and the flush out there. So it's a little bit iffy as far as what the steal has, or if we're still ahead. I'm not too fond of this. I probably should have just gotten away from it, but I'm going to check it down and see if I can induce another check here. Maybe he's scared away about a potential flush on the board. Maybe he thinks that's what I was chasing. Now we got the king that just fell. So, how do we want to play this? Do we think the 7 is good? I don't know, maybe he spiked that king. If we check, maybe we can get him to think that we're still slow playing this. But Basile's better than that. I'm guessing he'll throw out a little bit of a minimum bet out there. To try and take this thing down. So, yeah. He's leaving himself with 1,600. I mean, I'm 50-50 on this. I think I might have the best hand here, but I don't think it's really worth it if I don't have the best hand. This isn't really where I want to make my stand with Jack 7 with a lot of ways I can lose on this hand. So I'm gonna lay it down. I played that pretty shitty, but yeah, revisionist history. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt us too bad. We're still in third position right now with 26 people left. So, just have to be a little bit smarter. Shipping pots is done. Seal woke up with the aces. JJ Puppet pops it up to 600. Leaving himself with 1,200. This is a pretty decent pot so far, so I might peruse the flop here. Hopefully the king doesn't push. It seems like this table is full of just flat callers. Get away from it. 10 Jack pulls it off. The aces hold up, so let's go down to 6,400. Got an under the gun limp by Fat 67. You know, this is a spot where I'm willing to kind of take a stand here. If they're just gonna limp and allow me to, yeah, I mean, it's basically just like, I mean, unless they're trapping me, it's kind of just like they're giving me that opening to steal it back, so. I don't, with 3,000 chips, I don't get just flat calling, but yeah, I'll come along and we'll see what Fats does, but they might have the best hand here, but we'll see. Get away from it. Fats takes it down. I would normally re-raise here, but you got two shorter stacks on the blinds. So I'm going to wait to see what they do. And this might be isolated anyways. You're in danger, might push now. So we like that flop. We're going to let the Dennis make a move here. 325, which is less than his opening pre-flop raise. So I mean, I'm gonna pop it up. Do 1,050. Yeah, and we'll see. You know, maybe he's trapping me, but you know, with the chips that I have and that flop, I gotta make a move here. That's what I was worried about. We don't have to call this. It's not worth it for us to call this. Yeah, but we'll give him a little bit of a sweat. So we'll raise it up here. Throw a 450 bet out there. We're at the stage I don't really want to throw quite a x bet out there, and you're in danger, of course, just pushed. Again, he's fairly loose, so I'm contemplating it. I'm going to use a time bank on this one. But he's been fairly patient tonight, so I don't really want to base this on past showdowns with him. And that's going to leave me with like 4,200. Yeah, we're just going to look. So, it's fine. He's just gonna flat call. Two people left. A7 suited on the big blind. Fats is gonna limp in. This could be an interesting pot. Same thing. I'm gonna push here and make a move because I'm not so worried about Fats calling because they'll still leave me with a decent stack. I caught my 7, no queen. Hold. Nice. I mean, that's what you get for slow playing it. I mean, you're short stack to begin with, and you're under the gun. You're not doing yourself any favors by limping in and trapping when you're short stack. You know, you can trap when you have some chips to play with and everything, but you know, doing it at that point in time, you're not doing yourself any favors. I mean, I'm obviously going to make a move there with just about any ace with 2 limpers in the pot. So he kind of did that to himself. And now we got aces, which is always a lovely sight. Hopefully, no, the Dennis won't do anything, so. Let's go 3 times big blind here. And hopefully someone tries to push back. It didn't work out that time, but we'll take the blinds. We're gonna let these guys ban it out a little bit. We're still sitting in 3rd place right now with 21 people left. Dennis is just gonna limp under the gun there. My ace-9 would apparently be good. Now he's gonna push. Again, Dennis is just going to flat call that raise and leave himself with 70. He's not leaving himself with much breathing room here. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, at this point, you know you're going to push. And, of course, he bangs out the straight on the turn. But I don't understand that reasoning. You know, if you're going to make a decision to play a hand, then just play it through in the beginning. I don't know why you typically leave yourself with a tougher decision to make post flop. He's got nines. Like, whatever he's doing, it seems to be working for him. So, what can I say? We're still in fourth. 16 folks left. Top 6 get paid. King Jack. Not a huge fan of this position, but you know, we're gonna make it 500 to go. You're in danger, might pop it up. Now it's down to J Puppet. He's been calling though, so unless he woke up with a monster. Yeah. So we'll throw out a 600 bet. And he lays it down, so we're happy with that. Jack 2. Ace Queen holds. The Dennis. Going crazy. Wake up with pocket aces. Pop it up to 1950. Basil's a little more aggro, so that might induce him to just push. We'll see if he really has a hand here. Because I doubt he's just going to call down with a marginal hand. Wow. Like that. Hold. Whew. We like that a lot. That was a big hand. Scary. Puts us one with 14 people left. And Dennis is going to raise 500, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop it up to 1950. I'll let him take that raise. I'm not a huge fan of ace-4 in that spot. I mean, you're in danger. Could easily just pop it back up and re-raise all in. You know, so why give the chips away? Ace 10 I like in that spot, so just raise it up to 600 here. If Germs pushes, I mean, we got a decision to make, but I like ace-10 in that spot. I mean, we could certainly raise here and try and steal this from Ken Kick, who's sitting out. But again, I mean, you got a couple short stacks there that could just as easily push. So for me to just steal it for the sake of, you know, picking on the dude that's sitting out, it's not really quite worth it from that position. So the sixes hold. You're in danger is done. So I think that brings us down to about 13 people left. We're going to fold the 410 under the gun. We're also coming up on the break too, so we don't want to do anything too silly if we can avoid it. Yeah, 13 left. The min raise by Germs. Let's see if we get a couple callers here. If we do, then it definitely makes it worth it for us just to see a flop for an additional 240. Alright, so the pot's already at 990. Yeah, I'll see a flop for another 240. And I like that flop. So we're gonna check and try and induce a C bet by Germs. Just in case he's got something silly like 10 queen. I'll pop it up to 1100. So we'll take it. That's a quick raise by Germs. Wonder if he's not a little tilted after that, but oh, of course I got disconnected here, so So, of course I got disconnected, but thankfully it happened right before the break, so the break just ended. We're sitting in first place still, with 12 people left. We got ace 10 on the button, so, you know, depending on what Bra says, or does, we're most likely raising here. So we hope that we don't get played back at, which we don't, so that puts us back up to pretty much where we were at right before we got disconnected, so, which is never fun. There's never a good time to be disconnected, but, you know, if there's as good a time as any, it's either during or right before the break, so we at least, I guess, kind of lucked out in that regard, so we'll take it. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. So pocket sevens, early position, but we're missing a few people at the table. So, you know, I'll go 680 here. I'd like to keep it in the same range, keep it consistent and everything, so people can't really get too clean a read on us. And again, this is the part of the tournament where people start to either play a little bit tighter or try to fight for their lives. So still 12 left, but we've got a pretty comfortable chip count here. I mean, looking at this, we've got you know, from 6 to 12 is in single digits right now, so that's pretty good for us. Folds around to us, we'll take that any day of the week. $10-4, I mean, I'm not really gonna get, well, yeah, the pot's already at 850, so we'll call, see if Dos Ex Machina just calls or checks, which he does. Pretty lousy flop for us. Dennis will probably take a stab at it here. No. Ace high holds up. So we're going to do another 3x bet here on the button. And if Germs plays back, we will call. No hesitation. He's probably getting a little frustrated that we've raised his blind the last couple times, but I guess it was something that was less than marginal there. Ken Kick is the small stack right now, who's obviously sitting out, just trying to hold on to every last hope of possibly making it into the money, I guess, but it's unlikely in this one that only pays out the top 6, so maybe they just got tired. It happens. Ace Jack so far. Let's see if the 2 plays. Nope. The Dennis racking up pots. Left, so we're 1 off the final table. Folds around to me, so I'll take that. Thank you very much. And we're not even going to mess with 3-8. We'll just let Dos Ex Machina take that at this point. Ken Kick is down to 560 chips, so they'll be gone soon. Jack 3 again. As long as we're going to get let in for cheap, we'll see a flop with that. Nothing special. These guys can duke it out. Oof. Let's try and steal a little pot here. That didn't work out too well, so. Dos Ex Machina is getting very defensive about these people sitting out. He does not want me stealing those blinds. The Dennis is potentially sitting there with an ace, but I'm gonna get into it again just to see. was a bad spot for us. We shouldn't have done that, but especially in that position. So it folds around to us. We're at the final table. We still need to get through 3 other people. We're not in first place right now. I think the Dennis is. Yeah, we're holding second place right now with 17,000 chips. And our small stacks are holding 5,000, 8,000, and 10,000. So we got a little bit of work to do. Nothing's a given right now. So Jack King under the gun, with a full table right now. I'm not really a big fan of that. So you're looking at Dub Raw, who's down to 5,000 right now, who's willing to just let themselves blind out, So in the meantime, people are going to be trying to steal that. God, hopefully now isn't the time that we go card dead. But we're in no rush. We're holding fairly steady right now, so still in third place without really seeing any decent cards. We got 2 smaller stacks that were just going at it, so I hope I win. Just put themselves in kind of a bad spot there. Alright, so I hope I win pushes. Dos Ex Machina calls. Queen is good so far. Queen is good. I hope I win stays alive. Dos Ex Machina is a little bit tilted right now. So we'll see how that shakes out, but got Scrats D balls here. Tanking on this bet. Makes the call. Heart falls. 10 of hearts. Let's see. So we get a raise on the big blind here. I'm going to make a move and push. So we got pocket eights versus ace king. Low. We got it. So we needed that. So that knocks out one and puts us back in a good position, and I like ace king to follow that up. So 1200 bet, but that's by the big blind. So we're just gonna call. Yeah, we're just gonna call there because he's the one guy we really don't want to go against, and that's a monster flop for us. So the only thing we really hope is that no one has pocket twos. Jersey Devil's going to bet in with the C bet. I'm just going to call here. We hope that he doesn't have something dumb like King 8 or something like that, where we just got screwed over by WSOP, but, the hope is that he doesn't have a king at all. Yeah, that's what I figured, so. Queen 6 we're going to lay off it for now. Again, you got these guys being blinded out too, so I mean you got Dubra who's down to like 4,300. Moily Watt, you're only looking at 6,000 there, so I'll let some of these guys beat up on each other a little bit too. Not a situation. I mean, the queen is nice there, but again, it's not a situation where we need to throw out a raise there. Can let a couple orbits go by at this point. Yeah, we're in a good position. We're back in first place. We don't want to get greedy yet. We obviously, at this point, we need 2 more people to leave the table, so, we want to make the money. And, you got to kind of just know when to switch gears and everything. You never know. Just by sitting out, Dobra might even make the money. You never know. No one is being, no one is just waiting him out. So everyone really seems to be playing. which is good, you know. Keeps it moving. Ten-3 under the gun. Not gonna cut it. Dennis is back in first place. Ace-9 suited on the big blind. We got a limp from Molly Watt. And I'm just going to make a push here. Make a play for all his chips, you know. And honestly, I probably would have done that with any two, just because, you know, he's short stacked. But at the same time, the way that he's playing, he's waiting out Dub Raw to get, with the hope that Dub Raw gets knocked out first. You know, and this is a good play by Scratch the Balls. So now you get a call by Molly Watt. Let's see if you get any other callers, but I don't think so. Oof, that's rough. Wow, the queen falls, but the diamond draw. The queen holds. Wow. That is rough. That's a rough beat. down to the final six. So Dubra made the money. Sometimes it pays to sit, I guess. Jeez. He at least walks with $84 for basically doing absolutely nothing for like the last half hour, I guess, 40 minutes maybe. Pocket aces are good. See if the Dennis calls here. He does. Jack falls. I think we're just going to call that. Ace Jack. So we'll show that just so they know that we're not calling with marginal hands, but that kind of sucked. Throw down a raise again. Do a half-size bet on this one. Yeah, we're actually going to do 15-50. Fold that at this point, you know. Just in case he's got a bigger pair, you know, something like that. Now we'll get involved if it's only 250 to us. We caught the king. I mean, I'm guessing no one's got the ace at this point, otherwise there'd be a raise, but, you know, let's check it down and see how these guys bet. That's a quick bet and a quick call. But I'm going to stay involved here. The 10 makes it kind of a wet board, but yeah, I mean, he might have had marginal ace on the big blind, so, you know, I'm just going to bow out here. That sucks, but, yeah, I'm thinking ace something. So, I mean, we're still in the thick of it right now. Push by hope I win. Ace 2 is the call. Ace Jack is probably going to hold. Yep. It's past my bedtime. We'll throw out a little bit here. Let's do 1300. Let's do 1500 here on the C bet. This might be a push. No. Yeah, min raise me. I'm gonna call with 5-7 suited. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm kind of chasing, but I'm gonna see what comes here. Yeah, I don't like that. The min raise with pocket aces. Well, it worked out, so. Fold that, regroup. Let's get Dubra knocked out so we can at least bring it down to 5, but of course now the pocket jacks come, so. Oh. I'll raise it up to 3,300. Dennis has to call everything, so. Hopefully he'll just play the checking game. What a prick. And since I'm the short stack now, I'm just going to make a move here. And someone might wake up with a better hand, but, you know, ace-jack suited is kind of a monster. With 5 left, you know, pocket kings. Give me an ace. And the king, of course. Insult to injury. Alright, so there we go. We made 94 bucks on this one. Again, not quite where we wanted to end up based on where we were, but at least we finished in the money. Some shoddy play on my part at the end there, you know, especially against those aces, and I guess chasing that straight draw. So I could have done better there, but we also caught some bad beats kind of towards the end in the cooler with ace-jack versus kings. So, I mean, not much we could have done to avoid that, but, you know, it is what it is. We finished in the money. You know, we made our money back and more. So at this point, that's, you know, it's moving in the right direction. And as far as I'm concerned, trying to get out of this little slump of mine, you know, I'll be satisfied with that for now anyways. So if you guys are following along, if you followed along during this, thank you very much. Like I said, I'm going to keep trying to post as many of these videos as I can. At least once a week, hopefully a couple times a week if I can get in the volume. You know, and I'm more interested in like the primetime games, some of the guaranteed tournaments that are a little bit earlier in the evening and everything. Like I said, I just couldn't get to them tonight. But hopefully this was a decent first video for you guys, and let me know in the comments section, and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk about the next session. Alright, thanks, and have a great night.